Let's talk about room modes. One of the biggest challenges when it comes to getting accurate bass response in a room are room modes or standing waves. Have you ever noticed that your bass sounds too boomy in one spot and almost disappears in another? Well, then you're probably dealing with room modes. But what exactly are they and how can we fix them? Room modes occur when bass frequencies bounce between the walls, the ceiling, and the floor, overlapping and then reinforcing or cancelling each other out. This happens because sound waves reflect off surfaces and interact with each other, creating areas where certain frequencies are amplified and others that are nearly silent. There are 3 different types of room modes. First, there are axial modes. These are the strongest and most noticeable. They occur between 2 opposite walls, the front and back walls, the side walls, or the ceiling and the floor. Number 2, tangential modes. These involve 4 surfaces, such as all of the 4 walls, or the floor and the ceiling combined with 2 of the walls. The third modes are oblique modes. They are the most complex ones, involving all of the 6 surfaces in the room: 4 walls, the floor, and the ceiling. Room modes occur when the length, width, or height of a room corresponds to the wavelength of a bass frequency, its multiples, or half of its wavelength. This creates standing waves where some areas experience excessive bass buildup because the reflected waves align in phase and reinforce each other. In other areas of the room, the waves are out of phase and cancel each other out, making the bass frequency almost completely disappear. This is why you might notice that your bass sounds powerful in one part of the room, but weak or completely missing in another. It's not your speakers, it's the room itself shaping the sound. There are online calculators available where you can enter your room dimensions and it will give you an overview of all the room modes that should theoretically occur in the room. You can also do a little experiment yourself. If you have access to a digital audio workstation like Logic, Cubase and such, you can use an oscillator to generate a low frequency sine wave and slowly sweep through the frequency range. As you move through the room, you'll hear certain frequencies getting louder or quieter depending on where you're standing. Keep your room geometry in mind. If possible, avoid building or setting up a studio in a room where the length, width, and height dimensions are exact multiples of each other. These proportions increase the severity of room modes. Placing absorbers on the walls that are involved in your room modes helps by reducing the energy of the reflected waves. However, your standard absorbers mainly affect high to mid frequencies. To effectively control low frequencies, bass traps and broadband absorbers are needed. These specialized absorbers are more effective in lower frequencies, preventing strong resonances and creating a more balanced sound. A great starting point is to place bass traps in the corners of the room, where bass buildup is the strongest. Bass frequencies spread in all directions, and corners create multiple reflection points, causing them to reinforce each other and build up energy there. That's why we put bass traps in the corners first. While no room is perfect, understanding and managing room modes can dramatically improve how bass sounds in your space. So, did you check for room modes in your room? Which frequencies created problems for you? Let us know in the comments.